Good morning, Ma.
Good morning and happy Ashtami to you, Divya.
Jai
and to
Durga.
all the lovely people out there.
Jai Ma Durga. Jai Bhavani.
Jai Bhavani, Jai Bhavani.
Jai Mata Di.
Yeah, I was very happy that lots of people wrote to me
Hanji.
that last time we had given the mantra Om Don Durgai Nama, and they said that they've really been chanting it through the Navratri. And so I was very pleased that there are so many of you out there who are really taking the instructions seriously, or the guidance, or the suggestions, or even confirming that Divya and I are here for a purpose to heal all of you, and you're participating, and you are really I think as a collective, reaching out and doing the things that you're supposed to be augmenting and reflecting and resonating with. So that was very pleasant, and I really loved that kind of feedback, that there's an impact on everyone celebrating the presence of the Navdurgas, the feminine divine, the auspiciousness, because in this moment of time in the world, with all the war and the hostages, and it really breaks my heart to see the kind of hate and animosity that is permeating in the universe. So yes, I think we need to fall in love with ourselves and our neighbor and the world around us, and try to install that goodness in our soul self, because the soul self is always looking at the traumas, the memories, the unhealed wounds, the past, the present, the future, and everything is stored in the mind. Remember that the mind, just as we have the lungs to breathe, the mind has the brain to store memory, to think, to act. It's like a computer. Whatever you feed into it, it just stays there. And we hold those energies in the consciousness of our soul. The soul never dies, because the soul is always recording the history and the consciousness and the memories and the traumas of our life, and we are just taking it from one lifetime to another lifetime. So the harmonics of our soul have to be really, really good to radiate that love, to radiate that consciousness, that comfort, and that togetherness, because we really need to come together as a human collective to share the love and the light. So remember that you are also participating with your breath, with your thoughts, with your harmonics, with your vibrations, with your resonance, and you're impacting the world that you live in. And if you're not operating from a pattern of truthfulness, then the whole world is not going to be in Sat Chit Anand. Sat means truth, Chit means consciousness, and Anand means bliss. And the divine has blessed us with this. He's blessed us, or she's blessed us with the divine intervention of when we speak the truth, our consciousness is really pure and activated. And then whatever is happening around us, whatever is the discomfort, whatever is the memory, whatever is the trauma, whatever is the unhealed past, we are able to forgive and move ahead with complete compassion and complete forgiveness. And we have this energy that then becomes our signature. And this signature impacts our soul. Our soul is nesting as an atomic particle of light that is in the center of our heart, with the 5 sheets of the 5 airs that we breathe, the pran, the udan, the saman, the vyan. And all these are resonating with the consciousness that when the breath leaves the body, it's that time of, the body being no more useful. And nobody in the universe can actually bring that soul consciousness, atomic particle of immense spiritual essence, cannot put it back into the body. It is the divine that is putting that atomic particle back into that soul, when that soul is taking birth from the mother's womb and co-creating itself, and with the help of the 5 elements and all the vayus. And when the child takes the first breath, that prana is installed. And that's why when we say that somebody's died in Vedic understanding, we say that the prana has left the body. So then it becomes just a material body. And that material body is of great value to your breathing, because you're experiencing, because the body is the material instrument to activate all our karmic resonance, whether it's, we're going to be very wealthy, whether we're going to be poor, whether we're going to be healthy, whether we're going to be sick, whether we'll have energy or we'll be frail and weak, whether we'll be knowledgeable or we'll have lack of appropriate knowledge in that appropriate time, whether we will be able to renunciate and forgive people, and finally will we be famous in the spiritual world, so that we have access. Remember that we are all waves of the same ocean. We come down and take this human life, and after death of the body, we go back, because we've just come to complete our karmic cycle, to complete that mission that we are both a particle and we're also the wave. We are both love and we are the light. And we have that holographic signature of our individuality. And the soul groups, just like birds of a feather flock together, souls also go back to the spiritual worlds to do some action and bring that light back into their lives. And I'm just reminded that we have to share the light with the people today. So this is from our puja. So I'm sending out the light to all of you. And stay. Mata Rani ki jai,
Maharani ki jai.
So sweet. So we are connected to that electromagnetic vibration and light, and we are all being sustained through that magnetic force. We are seated, and we are, not having some kind of, imbalance in the ears and vertigo. And we are really spinning and moving even as we are sitting very still and we are talking and you're listening. But the reality is that we have incarnated on planet Earth to live a three-dimensional life. Our body is very three-dimensional. We are standing on Earth, we are moving our hands, our feet, our voice. We can see, we can smell, we can hear, we can taste, we can touch. And those experiences are being recorded in our mind and brain, because they're both working with the consciousness in great authority with each other, cooperation, collaboration, connectedness. And we are sustaining our human body, our purpose of life. We are educating ourselves. We are the man, the buddhi, the ahankar, the mind, the intelligence, and the ego self, or the false ego self, depending on which aspect of yourself you're connecting to. They travel with that atomic particle of the soul, lifetime after lifetime. And when finally we are spiritualized enough, then we don't have to come back to the material universe. And we have harmony, which equals health and freedom. So harmony is very, very, very important for our harmonics to be in line, in tune with our environment, with the people that we live with, the people that are in our community, the people that are in our city, our country, and different continents. And finally, not just this world, but with the spiritual dimensions of where we are finally going to find our resting place. And we're going to work for the divine here and there, because there are many layers to our spiritual anatomy. And we can get into that in a little while. I know Divya is thinking, where is mom going?
Not at all. I have so many questions in the comment section that I'm just
lovely.
meditating on everything that you're saying. We are going on the soul journey. That's where we're going.
Wonderful.
I'm very clear.
Okay.
So, Ma, you were saying, would you like to
that
complete your thought?
The aura anatomy is made up of the mind, the body, because the body also has an anatomy in the auric reflections. The mind has its reflections in the air prana of the body, Kham and Vayu. That is what is creating thought. Thought and space is what is created when we are born, and that spirit, that spiritual atomic soul presence, activating that spirit to be motivated, to move forward, to create an harmonic. It's very, very, very necessary in the material universe. I'm just reminded that just to state that if people are feeling very lethargic and unhappy and tired or maybe even depressed or anxious, I always tell them to take a handful of salt in the bath water and have a saltwater bath, because it will purify and cleanse. And that's why they say, in Vedic understanding, in Namakakars, that you have a karmic debt to others through that salt, which is present in our saliva, in our blood, and we have eaten and impregnated that karmic vibration when we eat somebody else's salt. So when we are letting go of all that toxic waste, that is also food for somebody else. So when it flows through the drains, the salt is a great healer. It cleanses, it inspires confidence, it gives you nurturance of good energy to attract through your cells and to have the holographic signature illuminated in your auric and energy field, so that you're recognized by the divine energies that are coming down, and they activate that pillar of light on the top of your head. And when you do that saltwater bath, you're realigning yourself with that frequency, with that vibration, with that resonance of goodness, and Satchitananda is reborn. So you'll be having the ability to speak the truth, you will be having the ability to be conscious of what you're saying, what you're doing, why you're doing it. And then of course it will lead to not only you being blissful, but also your environment, the trees, the plants, the birds, will sing with you, and the breeze of the rustling of the leaves will also say, I love you. The other day I was sitting in the garden and there was this, some lot of noise, which in the human ear, it attracts your attention. And then I was hearing the word, I love you, thank you, thank you. And then I was very curious, so I told Divya to peep out of the window and see what's happening. And there were some gardeners of ours who were actually clearing up this little place that we've converted into a sit out, where we sit and have tea very often. And they were just pulling out all the dead leaves and the branches and all. So I was not hearing the rustle or the noise, but I was hearing that sound, and I was thinking, who's saying this to me? And it was just the creeper. I was so happy that it was going to get more space in the winter sun to grow. So you can hear, you don't need another human being to tell you I love you and thank you. The universe is always sharing.
Yes, Mom.
So that just happened a few days ago, so I was really pleased.
Yes, Mom. So there is so much love coming in and flowing from you to our hearts, and as everyone is, I think, very curious is the energy that I'm picking up, that can the soul ever be destroyed is the question. So before we get there, though you've already said no, but we'd like to know more. Aishanya has a beautiful question. She asked that how do we heal the soul, ours and others?
You have your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul self, your thoughts, your emotions. And when you become a healer, the first instruction in a seminar is that you must recall and cancel what is negative and affecting your head and your mind and what you're storing in the crevices of your brain. And so, when you recall and cancel, when initially a healer becomes a healer and is attuned to the healing energies, they're doing recall and cancel 60, 70, 80 times a day. And then slowly as you heal, you learn that the symphony of the universe is very compatible to your own symphony. And as you send out those vibrations, the same vibrations come back to you. So your emotions, your thoughts are very instrumental in how you feel. And so karma is also built up with the same emotions and same thoughts, and your body and mind doing certain actions. Even if I have to move this hand and give you something, it's my mind and my brain that are cooperating. It's like a jugalbandi. What is jugalbandi in English? I think the dance of the soul and the spirit joining together to activate the body and mind to do a personalized action, or even in inaction.
It's like a spontaneous jam session.
Yeah. So the harmonics of the soul are fluctuating and functioning together like an orchestra. So your body is going to move, you know, there's certain parts of your brain that are already telling your eyes how to see, your ears how to hear, your nose how to smell, your mouth how to talk, to taste, to touch. Your hands are touching, your skin is feeling that sparsh of comfort and divine intervention. And it's also finally about the affirmations and intentions that you put out into the universe. If you keep complaining and you keep, you know, harmonizing yourself with or infecting yourself with the toxic ideas and thoughts, so our authentic soul's harmonics will not emerge. They have to emerge through, you know, understanding that we are here as individuals. We are, you know, either there can be expectation and judgment or acceptance. So acceptance is the sweet sound of, you know, that whatever I've prepared in this life I'm experiencing. And if I don't like what I'm experiencing, I'm accepting that I have to change. But when you have expectation and judgment about others, then you're adding on to your karmic waste. You're influencing yourself and your karmic harmonics to become very contaminated because you're judging others. So you will be open to judgment from others as well, and even from the universe.
So then that leads to a lot of either comfort or then discomfort in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
And so to coming back to that very sweet no, whisper no that you gave to the question that, you know, we've posed today is that can the soul ever be destroyed? So what is actually being destroyed? Is it our ego when we assume that our soul is being destroyed?
Yeah. And, you know, in the Bhagavad Gita it's stated that it's birthless, changeless, and deathless.
The soul.
Yeah.
So that's somehow with our mortal bodies,
Yeah.
and I think the way that we experience time, so our temporal brain and our mortal bodies that move through time seemingly in a linear way, that we get up in the morning, then our day happens, then we go to sleep, and then we repeat that cycle. How can we experience or observe this deathless, changeless, immortal soul self in our day-to-day or in our lifetime?
When you wake up in the morning and you look at the sun, it's rising, the air you're breathing, your body knows how much oxygen to pull in. You don't have to tell it, take more oxygen, I'm feeling tired. Because it's doing the function that you have prepared yourself to breathe. You know, there are many people through COVID who had to go on oxygen support, they had to go on the ventilators, and then they came off the ventilator. So it's the same way your soul and your body, your mind and your spirit, your thoughts and your emotions are all collaborating. And they're collaborating for you to sequence so that your mind can conceptualize what you're seeing clearly. Your ears are hearing and listening. Then your nose is smelling. And then your mouth is tasting the flavor of that truthfulness. You know, a lot of people say to me, I have a very dry mouth and, you know, I'm not able to speak clearly. Sometimes I fumble because the tongue is not responding. So I always tell them that sit in front of the mirror and actually tell yourself what to and how to, you know, collaborate with the universe and with yourself. And tell yourself sweet things and tell yourself not such sweet things. And then whatever will be the response of the body, you will know that where is your status, where is your harmonics, where is your memory, where is your trauma, where is your helplessness, where is your anguish, where is your anxiety. And then become a healer to heal all those so that you can resonate the purity of your soul, the coherence of your individual self, and the infinite wisdom and knowledge that you will unearth that is lying dormant in your brain. And it's come through lifetimes and lifetimes of actualizing that beautiful spark of atomic light that is in every pore and cell of your body. It's like if you take medicine and, you know, you have a pain, say in the stomach. The medicine knows where to go, right? Which parts of your brain to shut down. So I'm always amused that there are two parts of this pain relief medicine. One is that it goes to the point and cuts down or harmonizes the pain, and the other is it goes to your brain to shut off that experience of pain, right?
Yes.
So the same way the spirit and soul are also doing the same surgery on your soul cells. When you are doing the healing, you are actually accepting that your brain should not shut down. That part of you that is unhealed should be healed with the sparsh or the touch of the light and the love. And then everything is free of anguish, and there is no, when I tell people God consciousness, they say we don't believe in God. So then I tell them good consciousness. So, when you have good consciousness, then you're very, very sublimely centered in truthfulness, and the collective consciousness of infinite wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, clarity manifests itself without you having to do anything.
So when we are in this state of surrender, is what I am picking up, then there are a few people who are asking a similar question, which is that how does this harmony lead or can it lead to a pattern of forgiveness, and how can we initiate this pattern of forgiveness, whether we are initiated healers or not?
Whether we are initiated or not, we are all healers.
Yes.
The divine has given us everything, given us the intelligence, the wisdom, the clarity, the coherence, the purity, the truthfulness, So we have to see what are the influences on our mind. And I always say watering a plant is the highest form of connecting to that 77% of water in your body. And when you're offering it with love and devotion to a plant, you're also offering that plant has deep roots, and it's going to re-root you to your creative intent, to your truthfulness. It's going to help you to reconnect to the magnetic forces that are coming through Mother Earth. Remember, Mother Earth is always, collecting our toxic waste, and she's realigning and reprocessing and recreating that into food for the plants and for the animals, and that wo chara ugate hain, the greens that they grow in their farmlands to feed the cows and the horses. And so everybody is doing some service to the divine, and the Mother Earth is collaborating. You can't put the seeds and tell Mother Earth you have to make 500 kilos of mangoes on this tree this season. You don't know, it could be 700 kilos. It depends on that spontaneous association of the soul that is in that tree, and how much debt it has to how many humans who are going to take that mango off that tree and eat it. Maybe a monkey is going to, maybe a parrot is going to peck on it. Finally, Shakambari Devi, who is the giver of abundance, is going to collaborate with that tree and listen very carefully to the harmonics, that where do these mangoes really want to go, which country, which people, on whose tables, and they're going to reach there. So the same way, our inherent nature is also talking to us, is also guiding us according to our karmic resonance. And if we are listening, if we are contemplating, if we are reflecting and meditating and healing, then everything is in harmony. And what is healing? Healing is to do one good charitable act every day when you wake up in the morning. A very charitable act is to tell yourself that I have enough.
I have enough.
Yeah.
So does that automatically douse the greed center?
Yeah, it goes straight to your Kundalini and your karmic core, and it is that I am sufficiently enough in this moment, and I can do whatever I feel like doing and wanting and co-creating. Remember that your soul cell, that atomic particle, united in the sperm and the egg to bring you into the womb of the mother, and the womb of the mother is filled, that amniotic sac is filled with the waters of the cosmic oceans, in which there is highest intelligence, highest wisdom, highest knowledge. And your soul is collaborating with the body and the material nature of the mother's womb to rebuild and recreate. The most intelligent and wise and wisdom thing that a soul does is to create this human body, through which it's going to activate and reciprocate and give back the karmic resonance and the debts in this human life. And so we are going to school, there's a teacher, then they're teaching us, then we're going to work, and then we have a boss, and then we're earning the money, then we're paying the bills, whether it's for your children, whether it's for your adult parents, whoever you're working and nurturing, that is part of your responsibility, and you're sharing it with the world.
So I have enough then transforms at a deep soul atomic level that I am enough.
Because I am enough means that I have enough
Yes.
to give to myself and to the others. And I am enough. There is no insufficiency in the divine connection. So that pillar of light on the top of your head, the 1,000-petal lotus of your crown chakra that's opening, has the ability to receive whatever it is that you need. We just have to be open
to it.
We just have to connect to the radiating energy, the vibrational frequencies, and the personal divine design that we collaborated in conversation with the divine and her mother and Mother Earth, and we rebuilt our bodies. How to, if somebody tells you in the Petri dish how to make an eye,
Yes,
they
ma'am.
will not be able to, right?
Yes.
Even if we need a liver transplant, we need a part of somebody's human liver to put into our body. If we need a
Absolutely.
kidney, we need a kidney.
Yes, ma'am.
So the same way, God is helping us create, function, and function together like an orchestra, and the harmonics are heard by one and all. So sometimes your friends will be very happy to spend time with you because you're happy and you're smiling, you're sharing, you're comforting, you're caring, you're creating, you're distributing. And at other times you're so needy that you're only going through your own memory lane, and you're filled with expectations. And through those expectations, because sometimes people don't know what we really want, and we don't have the intelligence to tell them,
Yes, ma'am.
then what will happen? We'll always feel insufficiency. So we have to open up, we have to speak, we have to rebalance, we have to reset, we have to recreate our own inner voice of comfort. And then that soul self, that flame of light that leaves the body, that soul energy, you can't put it back in the body.
No.
It'll still have to go back to the divine abode. We'll still have to come down in that mesmerizing nuclear explosion inside the mother's womb, and you will be given a chance to recreate the most authentic, harmonized, and visionary body, so that you can love your universe that you've come down to complete some mission. Maybe the divine sent you down for helping your family. Maybe they sent you down to help the world. Maybe they sent you down. I have so many people who are working for animal welfare. So many people who have bee farms where they're making the honey, because the human race wants more and more honey to nurture their body. So everybody is doing one particular act, and somebody is a lawyer, somebody is looking after the computers, the transference, what is it called, optic fiber through the internet,
Yes,
like
ma'am.
they're connecting. And so everybody is reinventing
And reconnecting in different ways.
Yeah.
So, Ma, in that consciousness of the soul and our life and our actions, how do we understand this give and take, in the sense that is the soul guiding the karma to be unlocked, and then the body and the mind are just following through? Or is it that when we hear this guidance that we must do one charitable act, and then when we do those charitable actions or charitable thoughts towards ourselves, even with this affirmation you've given that I am enough or I have enough, then does that transform the soul's journey? Because of course it transforms our karma, or no? Is it independent?
Everything is an influence and an impact from the outside world. Let's supposing you're fasting today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And somebody invites you to lunch.
Yes, ma'am.
So what will you say?
That I'm happy to come, but I'm fasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So then there's a change in the karmic actions, right? You're going to their home, but you're not going to partake of anything.
Yes.
So they may have prepared lots of things.
Yes.
Then they may be disappointed that you didn't eat anything, right?
Yes.
So in that harmonized harmonics, there is oscillation. You know, I remember as a child, many people saying, don't oscillate, make up your mind, do one thing. But that oscillation is part of the frequency of our energetic body. There is harmonics, there's rhythm, there's frequencies, there's oscillation, there is sometimes lot of devotion.
Yes.
And lots of love and light that people are trying to give you. And if you just took a piece of fruit or something that they offered you, you would create a new harmonic, a new give and take. You know, in my golden cloud, we are talking about walking together, gathering together and sharing forever. So we have to share our physical presence, we have to share with our voice, with our vision, with our insight. And we may say something very small to someone and that may become their life's mantra.
Yes.
And then they are going to change their destiny.
Absolutely.
And they'll always remember you as the greatest gift that ever walked into their life and gave them that one sound bite which would harmonize their life forever. So we are always in that frequency, and depending on, you know, I illustrated about the bush downstairs. They were clearing up all that, the creepers, the dead wood and dead leaves and everything was being taken away. And the creeper was so happy because it was getting more space to grow. So the same way, sometimes souls will come into our life that are assisting us, and sometimes they'll come to put some garbage. Everything is affecting our overall health and the holistic vibrations. And sometimes we are in complete harmony with everyone, and sometimes we are completely out of sync. And when we are out of sync, then we are not only creating disharmony for ourselves, but also for the others.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody, you know, there could be a dog barking outside your door, and you could be thinking that it's such a trouble. Why doesn't the government do something about the stray dog? And somebody else may say, oh, I think he's hungry and thirsty, let me go and put some food out. And a third person could just bring the dog into the house and start living with them. And then that dog could have enough food for the rest of his life and be loved and cared for and reciprocated, and could become a watchdog.
Yes,
or
ma'am.
the dog could come into your life and bite you in the stomach, and then you have to go for surgery. We don't know.
So it is that give and take of
Sharing
and caring.
So purity, coherence, infinite wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, clarity, multifaceted essences of our thoughts are going to create the harmonics with our higher self, or that we are going to be always judgmental and always creating expectation and saying that our whole soul's harmonics are radiating out what we want and we don't want to give. I've met lots of people like that who are not willing to share and give because they have bad experiences. Yesterday I was talking to someone who was looking at increasing his business, and I said, so are you looking at finding a partner? He said, no, all my partners have cheated me. So I said, when was the last time you set up a partnership? He said 35 years ago. And then 35 years ago, the partnership lasted for 35 years. So I was thinking that is the complete, a complete life. And so you can't say that you had a partnership for 35 years and now it's gone sour. So partnerships don't suit me. They did suit you for 35 years. So that is how we have to look at our life. We have to be grateful for everything that comes up and everything that goes out, and we have to symbolically understand that the universe is talking to us 24/7. The voice of the universe is very loud. Which portal are you plugging into is what you're going to download. So recall and cancel all the negative and start connecting to the radiating energies, the personal divine design that you created in your mother's womb, and become alert and awake, not sleeping. Yes. Because the soul is birthless, changeless, and deathless. That is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita.
I love that, Ma. And so as we journey into this realization of I have enough, I am enough, and I share.
I share and care and give.
And give.
Yeah.
So there are a few requests. We have Rita Arora who's requesting to be given the darshan of the Puja Thali. Yes. So for those who are just joining in, what is this, Ma?
Jai Mata Di. This is the flame of effulgence of the Navdurgas, and she manifested in the universe, and today's Ashtami is the Mahagauri Rupa, where everything is Sarva Mangal Mangle,
Shive Sarvarat Sadike, Shranye Trambake, Gauri Narayani Namastate.
That she is bringing us all auspiciousness, all wealth, all fortune, all health, all strength, all goodness, and she's removing the filters. You know, I have to say that as we are connecting to our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, and even our skin, we place lots and lots of filters, thinking that, you know, our memories, our anxieties, our traumas, we have to put the filters. So those filters get very clogged, and so in these 9 days of worship of the feminine divine, we are actually cleaning our filters. We are awakening, and we are sorting ourselves out.
I love
it. Those filters are not letting you see and hear and taste and smell and touch the truth. So in these 9 days, you are in devotion and you're chanting, and you are, even if you're just eating sattvic food or you're fasting, depends on your level of acceptance, but she's freely giving. Even if you're not fasting, she's still giving. Are your filters cleansed enough to receive that overload of love and, to put you back in sync with your karmic destiny, which is very, very effulgent, and you're resetting, recreating, and realigning. And the flames are dancing in all your chakras and burning up all the contamination.
So, Ma, in this beautiful blessing, there is a request for a blessing by Sumit, and I think he's worded something very interestingly. So, I'd like us to discuss it, decode it, and guide not only him but others. So, he says, request for blessings, Ma, that I am able to find what I set out to seek today. But that's a really dangerous statement, Sumit, because based on your filters, how clean or unclean they are, how clogged or unclogged they are, how are you going to know what you are setting out? You could be setting out for a fight. Yeah. You could be setting out for disappointment.
Or you don't have clarity and you're full of
confusion and distortions.
And then you do things that are very distorted.
And then that will seek you. So the affirmation should be that you are open to the blessings.
Fully open.
Fully open to the blessings.
And the pouring down of the light, the gold, the platinum, the silver, the studded with diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and blue sapphires, and pearls, and corals, all the shimmering lights are coming down. And a lot of people say, oh, they're like the rainbow lights. No, it's a pillar of light that's studded with gems. And it's pouring down, it's cupped into your crown chakra today to give you direct blessings of clarity, of freedom from distortion, freedom from anxieties, traumas, mental aberrations of the mind that we recorded different stories, and actually the story was something completely different. So to reconnect to the truth in direct consciousness of bliss and everything that is making you free of fear and anger is where you have to go today.
I love that. So thank you, Sumit, for that healing request, because in that we've all gained such a beautiful guidance and such a beautiful mantra to be that I am fully open to receiving the blessings.
And the harmonics that we invite are that we are free of disease. That means we are very healthy. And there's freedom of choice. Even when you're talking to your children, you should give them the freedom to do and like things that they want, and show them the way by example. You know, I had a mother, she came to me and she said, my son has failed in 4 exams and I'm very worried and he's not going to do well, and he's saying now he wants to become a gunda. You know what a gunda is? A gangster, because he doesn't want to study. So I told her that, you know, you are acting like a gangster, tormenting and torturing him and creating very bad frequencies in the light of your home. And so she was very shocked. And she was saying, I'm a terrorist, I'm a gunda, I'm a gangster. I said, yeah, in your own house you're torturing your child. So she said, so what do I have to do different? I said, stop telling him that he has to have oats and, you know, all those horrible khichris that you're making. Make him some nice food. Start with that. And the second thing is to love him. And if you really want to help him study and be interested in his book, why don't you sit down with him and you have your book to read and he's also reading from his book. So she said, oh, I haven't read a book in 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So I said, then how are you inviting Vidya Devi into your house? Absolutely. You have to invite her. You have to hold the book. You have to change the pages. You have to read. That's why, you know, sometimes even mantra books during these days, I inspire people, the affirmation books, the Radhe. I keep telling people, read them more. They are your Granth, your Bible, your Bhagavad Gita. Everything is succinctly energizing. The minute you open any book, you are activating your, you know, intelligence, your wisdom, your knowledge, your information, and you're opening the portals of your chakra, and they are free. The filters are completely cleansed. And there are flames of clarity, and so you become in sync with your real self.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's your soul self is dancing in the heart and is in association with the divine, and that particle of spiritual essence is what is inviting more and more of the spiritual blessings that are coming down for you to take that energy. It's like filling yourself up with petrol, right? So your body is in sync with having the ability to do things differently. So stay in that consciousness and share.
And share. And so we have a lot of requests, you can say, or wanting clarity on Ma, that when are we going to be doing the healing seminars online and in person in November. So the hybrid seminars, which will be in person as well as online, are starting this November, post Diwali, Ma.
Maybe this October. We don't know. October. Keep in touch.
Keep in touch, yes, ma'am.
We'll announce them.
I love it. And so we have a healing request for Ridan, who is having a colic attack while they're listening into the Sunday Collective. Then we have
in Australia.
In Australia, yes. And then we have Suryanshi and Anubhav, who say that we love you, Auntie.
Enjoy your trip to Udaipur.
Absolutely. And then we have Niharika, who says Jai Mata Di, love you, ma'am. She asked that, is there any book in particular that one should read, or spiritual books? No. Yes, the Radhe. I think the Radhe.
Of course, if you were doing the, you know, this celebration of the goddess, then Chandi Part. The Durga Shapchati.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Or the Devi Mahatyam.
Yeah.
Start with wherever your heart and mind.
Whatever you have in the home. Yeah. Don't start going in. It could also be a book of fiction. You open it and it will give you information.
Yes.
And your human life will become part of your operating system.
Absolutely.
With the mind, with the brain, with the lungs, with the heart, with all the different parts of your body, all resonating with the goodness. And taking that information and saying, okay, we were sleeping now, this is like such an awakening moment. I'm feeling so good. And I think people have stopped reading.
Yes,
This is one really sad part of, you know, they don't hold the books in the hand, they go on the Kindle and it's still the screen. But I really encourage people to buy books and read them.
Read them, absolutely.
Or write something every day, a gratitude journal.
Absolutely.
Write 3 things every day when you wake up that you're grateful for, that happened in your life, so that you create grateful memories. And then it'll be, I am enough, I have enough, I give enough, I share enough, I care enough to, and I'm devoted enough to do my healing.
And to share more.
Yeah, and share more.
And there's Inder who says, I enjoy mantra chanting by Divya on Spotify. So sweet.
Yeah, you should listen to all those chants that Divya sung.
Yes,
for the welfare of the world.
All of
Everybody
humanity.
should, yeah, and there's a very nice Mahalakshmi Stotram.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. Sound of Mahalakshmi.
Sound of Mahalakshmi. So you should listen to it. And Ganesha.
Absolutely.
And Shiva.
And Shiva. And Vishnu.
Krishna.
And then we have Niharika who says she just completed a marathon in 59 minutes and she's very grateful to the Divine Goddess's blessings. Yes,
sweet.
That's an amazing milestone. Wow.
Was it half a marathon? It must be.
I'm not sure.
Or is she doing the full? Wow.
I'm not sure. She'll let us know.
21 kilometers or 42.
Wow. I love that. And then, of course, there is just a lot of love and gratitude, Ma, for all the guidance, the teachings for today's Sunday Collective. And so as we are winding down the last 10 minutes of today's Sunday Collective journey, what is it that as we move further into the last quarter of the Gregorian calendar, move into the preparation for Diwali, for all those who are celebrating, across the world, and also move into, from a geopolitical standpoint, into a world that seems to be on the brink of complete chaos and annihilation. What are the actions that we can do in our lives so that we expand that energy of sufficiency and expand that harmonics of goodness and peace and harmony?
I'm reminded of the monarch butterfly. It flutters its wings in one part of the world and there's a storm in the other part of the world. So I would really inspire people to stop fighting at home. Stop shouting. Stop condemning your loved ones. Stop telling them that they're doing everything wrong, because those harmonics are your wings and your butterflies, that you're increasing that chaos in the world, that hate, that anger, this displeasure, this judgment, this expectation. A person has got 40% when they did school and they're expecting their children to get 100 on 100 in everything. So that's an unreal reality. Yes, maybe your child is very intelligent and can have the potential, but let him find his own intelligence and his own rhythm and his own way of doing things. If he's born to be 100 and 100, there's no way you can stop. I was just, listening or reading an article, I can't remember, where this girl, her father is a auto driver, and the mother is a domestic help in somebody's home, and she's just cracked the IS exam, and she's got into the services. So, what's stopping anyone? Inspire your children with a good intelligence, with reciprocation, with comfort, with giving them love and hugs and sharing your own, when parents go out there and start boasting to the children, we are just perfect, we did everything perfect, you're putting a big strain on your child. The child should know where you also failed, so that the child is comforted that yes, I could become a parent in the future, because my parents also made some mistakes and they learned from it and they're sharing their stories with me. This parents always telling, I got 100 on 100, I did this, I never had to depend on anyone. All their life they've depended. Even now they're looking at when their parents are going to exit so that they can have all the wealth for themselves. And then they say, if we had this much wealth like our parents have, we would have done so much more. And then within a year they've spent everything that their parents left them, because they've not connected to the intelligence, the wisdom and the knowledge. So you have to respect your parents, your teachers, your elders, and in that you have to respect the whole world and yourself as well. So give up that act of judging and saying I am insufficiently in touch with my universe. You are fabulously in touch with your universe. You just have to change the way you see, you hear, you smell, you taste, and you talk and you touch.
And align it all with the energy of enough sufficiency and gratefulness.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you'll function like a very harmonic orchestra. In everybody's homes, there'll be so much bliss and peace and joy.
So start with the melody of our thoughts, and then our melody of our words, and then melody of our actions.
Yeah, don't be gangsters.
Don't be gundas and
Don't be
gundis.
terrorists.
Don't be terrorists in your own home.
Yeah.
I think that is something that not many people, or I've never heard anyone else ever talk about it, Ma. That how we are terrorizing the people that we live with, and being terrorized also sometimes by the ones that we live with.
Somebody had shared with me just recently when I was meeting them that their father had bought this very ornate Louis XV style furniture and very delicate chairs and all. And the parents have passed away, and the son has inherited this furniture, this house, this wealth and all. And one day he had too much to drink, and he had a fight with his wife. Guess what he did? He broke all the chairs.
Okay.
Just completely. So when I was looking at what was that thing that he had actually broken down his seat of power.
Okay.
And he had completely annihilated himself from that comfort of that seat that his parents had given him. And there was no remorse or regret even the next morning that he had done that. And now he's telling his family just to sit on the mudas and be done with whatever is there, or to sit on the bed and eat.
Oh. So there's a complete disbalance.
Not even buying new chairs is
chairs.
the point I'm trying to make.
So is it, I was going to use the word disbalance, but is it more that he's uprooted not only his power but the seat of power for his entire family, just in that act of losing control?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were 8 lovely chairs. I was very curious to know how many chairs he had broken. And then I was asking them, could you not have repaired them? And he said, no, he had dismembered every part of it. So that's violence.
In the home.
Yeah, to the furniture.
To the furniture. What to speak of to humans and to our own...
how much damage, how much traumas, how many unhealed wounds, how many personal wounds from the past, the present, the future that you're carrying in your soul groups.
Yes, ma'am.
So be very in sync with your own harmonics, and know that if you're creating, complaining, that's what's going to come from the universe, and that's how we can send healing, to Ukraine, to Russia, to the Hamas, to Israel, to all the Arab nations, all the other nations who are trying to create, harmonics, that the hostages should be freed and war should end. Because it's a very difficult time for the planet and for the people on it. And we're all going to be impacted. Don't think it's happening in some far off land and it can't impact us. It impacts every single living soul. So hold your energies, be human, become part of your own operating system, which is installed by the divine, that you should stay in truthfulness, you should be conscious of all that you're doing, and spread the bliss, the joy, the happiness, and be the illuminating light of comfort, of sharing, caring, giving. And then you will also be sharing your own space of your operating system of your chakras, which are all the filters have been cleaned today. And so you are divinely blessed to activate your highest potential. And Divya, I love you all. We send you so much healing. And stay with the light.
And sending healing to all the healing requests, especially Just Gardening Priyanka asks, she seeks healing for Jason Mizoguchi and his family, that they remain calm in midst of the conflict, and that his niece Leilani returns home and goes back to college.
Definitely. Lots and lots of hugs for everyone, filled with the light.
Absolutely. Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di. Love you all. See you next Sunday. Bye.